Welcome back to another episode of It's On Us podcast. On this episode, we have RJ and Antonio Bennett on this week as two friends of the show who just wanted to join the conversation. And it was so good of a conversation. Part 2 of this episode will be out Thursday. So thank you for listening and enjoy the episode.
Just did.
Like right now. Start
okay. Right now.
Let's get the shit. Let's go.
Goodness.
Get it.
And welcome back to another episode of It's On Us podcast.
Don't be on no sensual shit this episode.
It's not sensual shit. I'm just saying.
Don't be on that soft booty shit.
I'm done talking.
You asking a question, Cliff? About the soft boot? No.
It's
fine. All right, go ahead.
That's too deep.
My bad, alum.
Sad.
Just welcome back. How's everybody doing this week?
We solid.
Jake, you seem low, man.
I'm not low.
Get your shit going.
Relax
your damn shoulders.
Oh,
Jacob's mad the Browns ain't playing this week.
I'm kind of happy as fuck. I'm relieved. I'm less stressed. But today we had the whole crew plus 2. That rhyme. Didn't know. On a dime. Oh,
stop. Please stop. Please stop.
Dear.
I was about to drop some fire. We have 2 special guests. We have, one just sitting there, just wanted to be a wallflower today.
That's okay.
He's vibing with us today.
And then Mr. RJ Presutto.
What's up, man? How y'all doing, man?
I like how you didn't identify.
You know, I know you're not going to say Antonio's name.
Okay.
Like,
I said, and Antonio, I'm sorry.
Antonio Bennywitdahenny, by the way.
Oh.
Yes.
You had a whole phrase. Ooh. You got a whole phrase with your name.
He's a true listener, and we appreciate him. He gives us good critique, and he gives us a lot of support. So we're happy to have him today, like looking in on the process and the chemistry, you know? He deserves this.
Absolutely. It's much appreciated.
But Jacob, introduce the rest of us, man. What the fuck?
Right.
Oh, Clifton got away last week not introducing any of us, but I got to.
It's a whole different
scrapped
space
that.
right now. Introduce us.
That's a lost file. Learning from
we got Mr. Osh.
Yo.
Nephew.
You're
That guy, Cliff.
We back in this.
We already introduced Mr. Bennett and RJ. And then that's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's all.
What's up, John? What's up, John?
How you doing, Andrew?
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
That guy from Ohio.
There you go.
Go.
Find him on eBay.
All right, so Jacob, as we know, it's December, right?
Yes,
so it's
it
Christmas
is.
time,
That's
right?
my favorite time of the year. Did y'all?
I'm not a Christmas person. I'm not going to lie.
Y'all didn't see the
season.
photo I sent in the group chat.
We did see it, but we just didn't say anything.
Yeah, y'all
I
did.
seen the photo he sent in the group chat, though.
Hey. But yeah, I sent like my little decorations up. No likes. No. Oh, it looks nice, Jacob. Nope.
It's too early.
It was fucking too early in the month?
Yes.
When are you supposed to?
Well, yeah, when are you supposed to?
I ain't gonna cap, bro. Usually me and my mom put it up like 3-4 days before. I ain't even gonna cap.
You only have 30 days to get in it. True. And honestly, Jake, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I just didn't like the picture. Like,
it was
sorry,
shitty.
man.
That's fine.
Honestly. I'm just
whatever.
I don't think I saw it.
That's fine.
But no, yeah.
Sometimes you drop shit in the group chat and got no heat. Like, it's okay.
Right. I come up cold a lot in the group chat. It's all right.
One like, it's like, man,
Yeah.
try again next week.
Apparently,
I saved you the other day, though.
So most of you guys have like,
you did.
most of you guys have Twitter, right?
I was like,
you
I
have
feel
Twitter.
like I fucked it up.
Have you ever like
gang.
try to post something and think it was gonna like be fire and like it doesn't turn out that way?
Oh my, all day long.
You post something like, oh, it's about to be like 100 likes and they only get like 10. You like,
I'm about to delete
like,
this.
I know this is fire. I know it's gonna go.
You gotta do. I actually delete it and you post it 2 weeks later to see if it hit again.
I like that.
You know what's weird? Like me hearing this because I'm not online and I don't think like that at all. It's like, do it really be like that?
If you use social media for like
for that purpose,
like for the gratification and like people want to accept you, yeah. If I don't get enough likes on a post, I'm deleting it.
Honestly, but I got like 50,000 tweets. I know there's some shit. There's some fire in there somewhere. I know it. Like, so no one's found
to hear
it.
that.
No one's found it, so it's all right.
I get it.
You talking about 50,000 tweets?
I've been a vet. I'm a Twitter veteran. 2008, I think. 9.
Damn, that's early. That's earlier than me. I'm 2010.
Damn.
I think I was in 11.
I got 37,000 on mine.
Damn. I got none.
Bennett said you had Twitter in 2009. I was like in 8th grade.
See, and I guess the only reason why I feel that way is because, like I told Jacob the other day, I don't need validation for my jokes or anything. So to hear, like, you
you was in 8th grade in 2009.
No, I'm saying he was younger.
Oh,
but I get it.
I did the math wrong. Yeah, see, whatever.
Anyways, now that it's December,
did you say anyways?
I said,
Hey.
Anyways, now that it's December, Jacob asked a really good question and asked me personally, what was my top 5 Christmas movies? And off the top of my head, I could only give you like 2 or 3. But then I asked a side question on top of it. Do you think Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
I'll say yes because like everybody I ever hear talking about Die Hard, a Christmas movie, I'm like, yeah, it does take time than Christmas holiday, so it's like I can't say no. It makes sense to me, but that's like Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie then.
To me, that's for the boomers to decide. It's their movie. It's not our movie. It's not Gen Z's movie. And if they call it a Christmas movie, it's a Christmas movie. That's how I look at it. Who am I to redefine what they think is a Christmas movie? That's how I look at it.
That's true.
I could care less. I don't really watch it on Christmas, so who am I to judge it?
And then somebody also asked, which one's the best Home Alone?
Number 2.
2.
2 without a doubt.
2 without a doubt.
And they're in New York.
No hesitation.
I don't know. One is really close.
One
though.
is
It's
good.
good, but just the stuff that happened in 2, it's so much funnier.
Yes.
It's just like,
That's fair. That's fair.
and how they like revisit things, and it's like, okay, it's like a nod to like the first.
So
Because I can tell you right now, when the chest went down the stairs and hit him, bro, I cry every time. I cry every time.
It's the perfect sequel, if you ask me. Perfect sequel.
Has anybody ever watched number 3 here?
Yeah, I have.
Sadly.
I watched like 10 minutes and I went to sleep.
I've never seen it. I'm glad I haven't. So
I'm not a fan of like multiple sequels of a movie.
wait,
Like,
time out. You're not a fan of movie sequels at all?
like I think
Chill.
like,
I know where you're about to go with this.
What,
Don't
yeah.
don't,
What you
Don't
wanna
make it
say?
that simple.
don't talk about my man. Don't talk about him.
Go ahead.
So like Back to the Future. Do you like that sequel?
That's a classic though.
Okay. So it just has to be like it has to be good.
Like I'm not a
Like
fan.
Godfather's a classic.
Right.
I could watch those.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never seen.
I
it.
thought
Johnny,
you
fix your
was going
face.
to talk Halloween and Michael Myers.
You don't
No,
watch
no,
the
no.
Godfathers, John?
I've never seen it.
That's why I got real defensive. I said, don't talk about my homie like
No,
that.
but I do agree because some movie sequels are like really good, and it's like okay, you guys can follow the story, but some are like no, don't do that again.
Friday the 13th. Those are
Right.
good sequels.
But that comes to another
Story.
question: Are we out of blockbusters in Hollywood?
Well, man, you chopped this whole segment up.
Man, yeah,
we
you
didn't
did.
even give our top 5 movies, and you just jumped shit.
I'm jumping shit.
That was a good
Can we
question.
control the first shit before we
Yeah.
sink the
Dial it back
first
real
one?
quick. Okay, so
let's
what are you
rewind
guys'
it.
top 5 favorite Christmas movies?
Santa Claus 2, then the Home Alones,
This dude.
and then the Nightmare
5
Before
right
Christmas.
Okay.
I said
the
the
Home Alones.
yeah 2. I said the first 2,
Okay.
So 1 and 2, Home Alone.
So that's
Yes.
4, and then what's the 5th?
and then Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
Okay.
What a blocky list. Like,
Can I
1,
live?
2, 1, 2.
Oh,
Go ahead, John. Let me hear yours.
I'm just glad we met in high school.
And the Grinch too.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's 6. So,
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
I
That's
take
John,
up the second
may I hear
Santa
your
Claus.
5?
You know, I like the Jim Carrey Grinch. That's
Yeah.
got to be up there.
Classic.
What's the one in Cleveland?
Christmas Story.
Christmas Story,
Story.
classic.
That is a classic.
I mean those two, and like
Never watched
Bad Santa, classic. Even though
Shit's
it's like
funny.
fucking like it's just like a comedy.
Yeah, I'll give
That's
you
actually
that
one of my favorite movies by Billy Bob Thornton.
Nice,
Actually.
nice. Yeah, I got like a 5. Like, that would be like 3, and I'll
one. Y'all,
probably
both of y'all leaving out one movie, so
Elf.
I was about
That's
to say
it.
that. I was
That's
about
it.
to say that.
Elf
Elf
is
is
sure
what?
4.
hey,
Let
boy.
me think. I don't know. I'll leave it out. 4. I got 4.
RJ?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I really don't watch Christmas movies.
I hear you, bro. I hear you.
Christmas Day, I'm watching basketball.
Yes.
I'm not
That's
gonna lie.
fair. That's fair.
And so for me, it's. I mean, Elf,
I'm right there with
obviously,
you.
Santa, Bad Santa, Home Alone 2, not 3, Jacob.
I never said.
Movie trash.
I never said that.
That's all I really got, man. I'm not really a Christmas movie guy. I'm more of like I watch movies just because I watch movies, not because it's a time of the year to watch movies.
Okay, I feel it.
I agree, but go ahead, Cliff.
John probably had my 4, and if I had to add one more to that list, Christmas movie wise, I like the Polar Express. I don't
That's
know
fire.
why.
That's a
The
good
animated
one,
one. The animated one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Give you props on that one, dog.
That was a good one.
Fire.
I mess with the Polar Express just
We
because it
didn't
was
even
one
go
of the
into,
first
like, the,
super animated movies like
Disney
that around
World.
that time, and I really
What
dug
about
it.
like? What about you can't forget about the specials that be on TV, like A Year Without a Santa Claus and shit
Yeah.
like that.
Hey,
Some of them do
those
be
are
fire.
good.
Because
Some of those little
I
shorts.
love Heat Miser and Snow Miser. Like A Year
Yeah.
Without a Santa
I grew up
Claus,
watching
like,
it.
I
You're
love
right.
that one. That would have been my
Rudolph
fifth, to
was
be
dope.
honest. I watch
Yeah.
that every year.
Rudolph, classic.
Frosty.
Yeah, like so
Frosty the Snowman.
You can't forget about those. And they're
Twice
on
Made
TV
of
every
Coal.
year when it's
Mhm.
Christmas
Like-
time comes.
Shout out to ABC Family for good childhood influence.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm gonna throw y'all a curveball that nobody else said.
Let me hear it.
8 Crazy Nights, Adam Sandler.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's
That
number
old
one.
man is funny.
That's number 1 on the
That
Never
shit-
seen it.
Never seen it?
Oh, you gotta watch it,
No.
bro.
You gotta watch
You
that,
gotta
bro.
watch it. It's
That's
so
a
good.
technical foul. You gotta watch that shit. That's so then I'll get that's one.
Yes.
Elf is 2.
Yes, sir.
Polar Express that's 3. That gotta be 3. Home Alone 1 is gonna go in at 4. And then probably Jim Carrey's Grinch at 5.
Okay.
His list is like golden. I might have to do the same. But can I put Step Brothers in that list? They did have like a scene where it was like Christmas.
That is true. But that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's like Harry Potter. Is Harry Potter a Christmas movie?
That place during Christmas and won't be
a lot of time it does get played throughout the Christmas years.
Yeah,
that is true.
So Harry Potter could be considered a Christmas movie.
See, and it's not. It's like Home Alone. Like that's a Christmas movie.
Right,
Like, the
right.
Grinch. Like it's about. Like it's all about Christmas. It doesn't take place during Christmas. There's a difference.
Right, it's all about the setting of the movie. Like they're based around Christmas. Step Brothers was like two families coming together. And what did you just say?
Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's all about wizardry. That ain't about Christmas.
But it's taking place
snowing.
But
you don't see Santa at no point besides Gandalf. Wait, no, not Gandalf. What is his name? Dumbledore. I'm sorry.
I can't say.
Harry Potter fans gonna kill me.
Oh yeah, over here talking about Lord
Hey, I
of the
never watched
Rings and Harry Potter. Like, come on.
I'm a Star Wars guy. Geek.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, now that we are talking about Hollywood blockbusters, do you think that Hollywood is going out of style with the movies that they're coming out, or is it being predominantly dominated by like Netflix and like
rebooting?
reboot like Saved by the Bell? I've seen it's on Like and
Yeah, I feel like it's
And pretty much
mix of
Marvel
that.
and DC now.
what's the new Karate Kid or not Karate Kid?
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, yep, that one. Just a lot of reboots.
It's a lot
And
of-
that's what Raven's got a new her sons have a kid.
Right.
Pretty much.
Raven's so much.
I just feel, I genuinely feel like people aren't actually trying to make original ideas anymore, and they're just trying to make old ideas better. I feel like they can't think of something to top it because there's been so many ideas already.
I partially agree with that, but like how you just said, like Karate Kid and Cobra Kai, in my opinion, as long as you can make the story good, then you're going to succeed. Like it's going to be great. But if you like, but there's also like a lot of Star Wars fans that don't like the last three movies or didn't like the the original episode 1 through 3. So it's but it all comes to like personal preference. So like if you can make it connect to a certain extent and not lose your fan base, then you're usually good. But if you got some spotty plotting and like some shitty shit going on, like the fuck did they just say?
Some off the wall
Right.
type stuff.
Right.
And the way this question came about is I just read an article this week where they noticed, as far as like number wise, like reboots and certain things that connect to us, like our age group, they do well because we're still in the media somewhat. But they've noticed there's a significant amount of like good indie projects like Squid Games and other like original content ideas that go through the roof because it's like we experience it for the first time in a weird way. Even though Squid Games ain't nothing new, it is new to us because we've never seen something done like that. Or a true story where they come give a certain perception from somebody that goes from rags to riches and shit like that, and how those numbers and even the money just does way better than reboots and shit like that. So they were just wondering, should Hollywood start investing in just new original ideas, and if they flop, they flop. And if they're golden, like those should be the new things we look toward to in the future.
One thing I've also noticed as of late, a lot of things are limited series. Like just like 5 episodes, 6 episodes, and that's it.
But that's
Done.
what makes it better, though.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if we're in that age where it's like, okay, if you put all the episodes together, it's a little bit longer than an average movie, but it's still great storytelling.
And we just live in an age of mass consumption, so there's no point in doing something for 2-3 seasons unless you can really truly build upon the story.
Right,
because if you can make something short, simple, but great, that's something to be marveled at. You know what I mean? Versus trying to spread it over 3-4 seasons and you're just dragging out a story and shit.
Off what he said in terms of like how they're appealing to like us with reboots and stuff. Toy Story, bro. That stuff right there. Every Toy Story is great.
Yeah.
I cried
And
the last one.
The last one, my brother.
you did.
My brother, he has a kid.
That was
So
fucking
he
sad.
took him to go watch it, and when he was watching it, he was sitting there, and it got to the end. My brother started to cry. Exactly. So I
Shit's
cried
sad,
too, but
okay?
like when they
But the
went,
thing is, though, with Toy Story, there's a nostalgic feeling when
That's
you
the
watch it
whole thing.
every time. Like, I'm not
Yep.
watching Fast and Furious fucking 17. Like, oh, man.
Man, ain't they?
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
aren't they on like
Toy
20 or
Story, I feel
something?
like
now?
Like 9 or 10.
This next one is the last one.
Are you sure?
They always say that.
Are you sure? Dom Toretto will probably come back.
And I
from
think
whatever
that's
happened.
that was what I said on the Discord with blockbusters coming out of Hollywood. Like Netflix has hit them hard. You can have an original Netflix series we could have our own movie and document it, put it on Netflix, and it's going to be selling what Steven Spielberg would want to do on a different project that isn't something that's big name.
What he would pray to do.
So let's do it.
You know
then.
what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'm not saying Netflix took it away, but it definitely took away the
Momentum.
frequency of it. You know what I'm saying? every seasonal, not even seasonal, every. Well, yeah, you can say seasonal. Every summer, you knew there was going to be a fire-ass movie coming out. Every fall, every winter. You know what I mean? Early year, everything is going to get a new movie to come out. Especially whatever it is. Like, Avengers usually comes out during the summer. And it's like, all right, summertime, you already know. Endgame.
Hey,
Captain
can we talk
America.
about that for a second, though? Like, the Marvel theme right now, like, I was talking to Jacob about this earlier before we started, and clip 2, we was all talking
Ooh,
about.
now
like,
he talking like a regular, dang.
We was talking,
I like the way he approached the mic.
we was talking like basically like how is Marvel becoming bland because of the big names being gone. It's almost like in like sports, like you take Brady, Mahomes, or Rodgers out the thing. Is it still as fun to watch because the guys that you grew up watching aren't there no more?
That's a great point.
I'm going to answer it real quick. Let me watch this Spider-Man movie, and that would dictate it.
No, but okay, but for me, Spider-Man is one of the big ones because we.
But
grew up on
he is a big role, but now he's taking a bigger role because the biggest roles are not there no more.
Right, that's a fact.
So now he's stepping out of his comfort zone.
But you can also
And to
look
make
at
an easy comparison, pretty much, it's like the San Antonio Spurs. They were the shit when all the base was there. Manu, Tim Duncan, Tony. As soon as they left,
But they were still making. So just
That's
to
what I'm saying, but
complete
they're
that
still
analogy,
relevant.
they were still making the playoffs, even though without them.
And that's how
so they're
Phase
still
4
going to do
feels.
number. They know what they're doing with bringing in this Tom Holland and fucking Tobey Maguire and the other motherfucker and Green Goblin. Everybody,
in a sense, they're world building.
and that's
so it could get bland if it's like you're stretching it.
The thing is, though, it's going to get bland because I like your analogy, how you compared it to basketball. Like the Cavs.
He did it.
Okay. You know, you're going to have a great team, but over time, that great team, you're going to have to rebuild. You're going to have to re-identify yourselves. And I think that's what Marvel's doing. Because how you said how Hawkeye started slow, Loki, started slow with that story building. Well, they got to just because they're in the, I guess you could say, a downward slope because they got to be like, okay, this is the new wave. This is how we're going to.
You have to revamp and come up with a new story.
Right.
But
So,
I ain't
yeah,
gonna
so
lie, I
it's
only
gonna-
watched the last episode of Loki, so
So
that
it's
way I
gonna-
can understand who King was and his personality.
Right.
I
So
was
it's going to be
that.
slow, but I also think it's going to pick back up in the future.
Okay, but let me ask you one question though. Why didn't they ever use the Hawk?
Because the Hawk is owned by Universal Pictures,
Yeah, he is.
and they can only do so many Hawk projects within their contract.
Mm-hmm.
Because back in the early 2000s, Marvel sold off a lot of their assets
A lot.
to start their own studio, which led to the Iron Man. But some of these studios, such as Sony, still own Spider-Man, so that's why Marvel and Sony team up for some of these
Talk your
pictures.
shit, Jake. You know
And
this shit.
Universal Pictures won't allow Marvel to use the Hawk again as a main character after the Edward Norton movie that came out after Iron Man because it was bad.
So is it?
I got you on that, but my whole thing is like watching the Hawk in Endgame, bro.
Right. No. Like how they made him.
Bro,
Yeah, I agree.
This dude, as he gets more angry, he's supposed to become like virtually
But-
invincible.
but he
was
also-
looking on the side like, ow.
But there's also other variants of the Hawk.
But
you
that's
got
their
Smart
way
Hawk,
of
you got Old Man Hawk.
knocking a bigger role off, like I was saying.
But you can also look at it like this: he's also going to show up in She-Hulk, which can lead to another variant of the Hawk because there's a multiverse.
There's
opening
also
up.
going to be a Red Hawk. I heard they're
Right.
flirting with that idea of like
So-
bringing the Red Hawk about.
So
and stuff.
with comic book movies, they're kind of leave themselves out because you have so many different variants of the same character.
I'm gonna send Gabe it later, and then he can send it to you. But I seen it just the other day on the internet. But like they have a graph of like what Marvel did, what he was talking about, how they sold off certain characters, and even where they're at contractually still. And it's weird and crazy, and you'll see it. It's kind of cool.
Do you think it's not as much? Well, I can't say that I watch Marvel a lot, especially anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think that it's actually bland, or are they trying to appeal to a different audience?
Right.
There
I
is
think it's a
that.
different audience though
Different
because
I
it's a
think
new time you have
like
to
you
appeal
said,
to.
it's a new wave now.
But
like
the young
younger
kids
people
come
are
in.
are doing stuff. Like younger people are doing stuff that we didn't do till we were a little older than they are now.
Mm-hmm.
So like now they're advancing. It's like, are they trying to appeal to them instead like we already have the older audience because of what's before?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
That
I believe they're about to mix it to where we can enjoy it and they can enjoy it, but eventually they will filter us out because kids and the younger people are the wave. You know what I mean? So they're gonna appease us to a certain point, but there's gonna be a wave of movies that come about where we won't even identify with it. Like, what is this?
Yeah, but like for
And we
now, I
don't
feel like
want
they're just
this
making that
anymore.
push to at least get the younger audience because they know they have like audience our age and a little older or whatever, they know they have us.
Right.
We grew up with the originals.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
So like they might really just be trying to appeal so they can get
a new.
all the
I have never seen
spectrum.
this
So that
before.
way, whenever something starts happening in our generation, it's like, yo, we have them already.
So
for our audience, we have a Venn diagram of like all the characters.
yeah, these are all the characters that Marvel owned at some point. But then, like he said, back in 2000, they sold a bunch of rights to their characters off, and now like you see like where some of them cross, like they can do certain projects like
Makes sense.
small, but like Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, but certain characters are off hands until like they negotiate the numbers right, pretty much,
where's the
or they buy them back.
That makes sense though. That explains
Shit,
why
where's
there's
who?
always a Spider-Man
Punisher. I want to see
game
the
out.
Punisher. Where's he at?
Punisher's
Oh hell
right.
yeah! Fuck
Because
yeah.
I forgot
Great
what year,
show.
but they bought a bunch of them back. That's why their circle's the biggest. But like at first, like they were everywhere, and then eventually they bought most of them, and then Universal, Sony, and 20th Century Fox kept like certain characters. But they're smart, if you ask me, because they know for a fact they can work with them.
This is also outdated though too, because as of last year, Disney bought this back.
Facts.
So this is all Marvel now too. So that's gonna lead in Galactus, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and shit like
Can we
that.
just acknowledge that
New
Stan Lee
Mutants.
has his own face all out the diagram?
Well, as he
Like, he's
should.
there, but
As
he's
he
there
should.
Still,
The
like,
genius
they had
behind all
respect
of
to
them.
put him there still. That's a go.
So yeah, so
That's amazing.
There it is. All right, we'll pull up the
Dude,
topic. soon.
he really thought of all them characters.
That's wild.
Real
I ain't
quick,
gonna lie, he was on psychedelics at some point in time.
You know,
had to be.
Black Panther's after a real dude.
I believe it.
Like he based him
Psychedelics.
off of a real dude from Africa
advocate
who
for
was
that.
fighting for freedom and shit.
I believe it.
Like it was literally he had the claws and shit.
So real
too.
quick to you guys, not to cut y'all off, but like as far as like Stan Lee and his like mental capacity to like see things, psychedelics are like a. Would you guys are pro like psychedelics, or like you don't really think like people should do those?
It ain't for everybody. I'm pro because it
I
works
guess.
for me, but it don't work for everybody.
yeah, I agree with Cliff. Like,
It do not
if it
work
works
for
for you, it
everybody.
works for you. If
Because
it
some of these
doesn't-
ideas these people come up with are like, how are you getting this information? You know what I mean? So
And the backstories and how in depth it is and how you can just cross all of them and it all makes sense. You done elevated your mind at some point in time. Ain't
Whether
no
you wanna
Superman
acknowledge it
got
or
this
not,
much time
like,
doing
it-
all this.
It
I'm
makes
sorry.
you look a different way, no matter what.
I feel like with those, it's all based off of mindset.
It is.
I told this one dude, he's like, I'm about to do these. I'm like, look, if you're not in the right mental state, do not touch them. It'll take you to a dark spot.
because they'll pull you down and keep
Yeah.
you there because you don't know how to get out of it.
I'm about to say-
Wherever your thought process
But-
is, it's gonna amplify it.
But if you're but if you're in the right mindset, oh, absolutely, because it opens a different side of your brain up. It lets you really see what things really are.
And just imagine if Stan Lee's always in a positive place,
Mm-hmm.
creating, and he takes one of those and he expands his mind. Good. Again, he created a whole universe, and it's starting to blend in with other stuff like Fortnite and all sorts of shit. The man's a genius.
Like I done met people who have tried that stuff and they said never again. Like I didn't, like I hated it. And I've met people who did it once and then right after, it was like their whole mind got opened up. And ever since then, they've been like on their stuff, like been doing way better. He was like doing that, like really opened up my eyes and stuff. And I was like, wow, like.
It's just more so the education and getting the information behind whatever substance that you want to indulge in. Like I tell people all the time, as we grow up, we're gonna come across like different things that we indulge in, but like it's about you using it, not abusing it. And once you get to the point of abusing, then you're stuck or you're like complacent. I don't know about you guys, but I hate being like complacent in like any space of my life. I like to keep going and like elevate just whatever I'm trying to do because again, we're only here like for a moment, right? So
But with you saying that, do you ever feel like you gotta press the pause button and just really focus on the moment that you're in now instead of trying to always better yourself? Like, do you ever just like, whoa, okay, this is what I got going on, but I need to take a step back and really reevaluate how I'm approaching this?
no, it's okay to
Or do you-
pause,
Okay,
but don't stop going.
don't stop. Yeah,
Don't settle within the pause.
okay, I see what you're saying.
Can I ask y'all a serious question about what y'all just said about the whole like staying afloat like thing? Do y'all feel like the generation nowadays is like that? With like how they do things?
Go a little deeper. What do you mean?
Like, okay, for example,
I know what he mean.
I have a nephew who is very good at football,
Okay.
but he gets complacent because all he hears is how good he is at football.
Okay.
So I have to break it down to him like, bro, you hang out with pro athletes and you see how they work, but you do none of that. You you're good where you are now, but there's somebody that's down the block that's 20 times better than you ever thought you could be.
Right.
So why aren't you working to be better than them? I listened to Kobe Bryant. He said I used to wake up at 4 a.m. to work out. If I work out 4 to 6, 8 to 10, I got 2 workouts in for somebody even got up yet. So if I do this for 6 years of my life, I already know worked out 4 more years, and they never can catch me. And that's why I was like thinking is like the world like getting so complacent because everybody always want to hear about how good you. You tell anybody you did something bad, they're like, whoa, what do you mean? Like
you get real defensive and
it's okay to tell me that I'm doing something bad so I can fix it, so I can get better. And that's the whole point of like getting better. Like I feel like a lot of people don't really like let you tell like, hey, do you need to do better with this? Hey, you spending too much money here, bro. You ain't got that. Spend that. Start spending that, bro. I got it. No, you don't.
Yeah.
It's like just little things. Yeah, like
sometimes because with my stepdaughter, I'll be like, "Look, Tay, I get it. You're smart in school. You take college classes. You're this, that, and third. Real world, where you at?" I said, "That's all nice. Get that piece of paper, But where you at when it comes to like common shit, being ready, being prepared? You're not there yet." I said, "You're gonna get there. Don't get me wrong, because me and your mom will never let you fail. But at the same time, you also have to be prepared of things that they don't teach you in school." Like, she's about to get her license, and she's like, "I got my license. I'll be able." I'm like, "No, just because you got that fucking piece of plastic doesn't mean you know necessarily how to drive." I said, "You got what, 58 hours with an instructor and that little affidavit you got signed? Real shit, Ted."
But you got to think like when you were her age, who could tell you anything?
That's the problem. That's the problem. That was all of us at that age.
I said
when we first was getting it done. Right. Oh, I didn't take no driving school, none of that shit. But I was still whipping that shit without it. You couldn't tell me I wasn't the best driver even without my license.
But it's like I was like, just because you have it doesn't mean you're there yet. Doesn't mean you think you can drive here and there and everywhere. Just because you have 58, you have a fraction of what people have real drive time. You've never driven the snow. You never experienced somebody.
So you're relating that to RJ's
no,
yes.
Saying like your nephew has worked but not worked.
You don't understand what real work is.
No, I feel like that's two different things because honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Sports and driving.
But no, the concept of it.
The concept. No, because I'd rather take, in driving, I'd rather take some 16-year-old who is 10 and 2, paying attention, not on their phone, than somebody our age that's flying, changing a song, texting.
Benny.
It's different. It's different.
But I'm talking about a responsible driver.
Okay. But if she's still responsible, if she passing her test, that's responsible enough for somebody that's not you to realize she's capable of driving.
All that I'm saying is that I'm relating it to the hours that have worked, like he said.
No, again, that's different. I'd rather take somebody who's driving like this and is on their 90th hour of being protective of driving, opposed to somebody who's been driving for 7 years, doing whatever they want to do, not looking up. Sports is not sports, and this is not. It can't. Yeah, this can't be related.
And to
me,
what RJ is getting at is like we live in a bubble wrap society on top of enabling these kids to do whatever, and they live in this echo chamber online. So it's hard for them to really be motivated to do anything when all they're surrounded by is people telling them you're doing great. Then they're enabled by those people to do whatever the hell they want to do. And it's like, well, if I'm already given this golden treatment at this level, what's the point in working harder to elevate? You know what I mean?
When you've been doing something since you've been yay high. You ain't been driving since you've been yay high. You've been throwing a football since you've been yay high, though.
Okay, I see
exactly. Like he's been playing.
That's a completely different argument.
Your stepdaughter just started driving. Like how long ago?
What?
You know what I'm saying?
How long ago did she just start driving? Like actually,
right?
Like the 58 hours, whatever. Like,
yeah,
did that?
5-6 months.
Exactly.
But how long has she been doing a sports
football since
activity?
It's the thought process of that they think they have it all. Like I don't know.
That's all.
That's an elevated That's an elevated conversation outside of those two things.
Because she has 50 hours in, he thinks he's a good football player because he's had
his whole life of being the best one.
And then it's like you still have to go farther and be.
Yeah, you still have to better yourself at the end of the day.
That's an absolute fact too, because there's definitely always someone better.
So let me ask you another question then. So then off that topic right there, do you feel like the internet and everything influences too much nowadays? Like the whole thing when y'all talked about the Travis Scott thing, I understood what you were saying, but at the same time, when you buy a ticket and you see rave, you know what rave means. Rave. I went to a Skrillex concert in Columbus, and Mac Miller performed before. R.I.P. That dude was a legend.
Right, legend.
But like my thing was, my boy told me, he's like, look, we about to go on here drunk. It is a Skrillex rave concert. If you go into that rave, that is on you.
Okay, no, that's the thing. If it's advertised as a rave, then obviously I know the damage. But I didn't know if the Travis Scott thing was advertised as a rave
because you've never
Scott
been there.
Right, exactly. But I've never been there. But after learning new details about it, that it was also going to shit before he started to perform, and the part of the reason why he's also receiving a lot of heat is because of his name was on the thing.
Yeah, but let's okay. So let me tell you about this real quick. So for me, knowing like all these guys and how they present themselves, can you imagine being Travis Scott? Right, you're performing. You don't know. You can't see the crowd. The crowd is black.
Right.
You're performing, and then you get done. You're doing your normal schedule because you don't know what's going on. It's like playing basketball or playing football, and you had a bad game, and somebody come and ask you a crazy question, and you're pissed.
Right. Okay.
You're gonna get your natural reaction out of somebody, and then everybody's like, "Well, that's the real him." No, he's just pissed, bro. Like he's a human. All these people are still humans in the day.
Correct.
People don't understand that nowadays. It's so you put these dudes on a high standard. They're just like us. They just are really good at one thing and get paid a lot of money for it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. People take the human part out of life nowadays because these guys are millionaires. They're supposed to be perfect. Nobody's perfect.
No. Oh, I firmly believe nobody's perfect.
We're perfectly imperfect.
Right. And I had to get some more details to really understand the situation better to where I'm not blaming him anymore like I was in the past. It was more of, it was just the venue itself, the promoters itself. Like, if you're going to have this type of event here, then make sure you have the best chances of people having a good time without dying or perishing or getting trampled.
I said that.
I know.
Literally said that.
I had to learn too. I had to really look at things and listen to different opinions and listen more about it.
But it's different when the media paints you a certain way.
Exactly.
Yes.
And this is what got me upset with that, because you in your mind had this media portrayed opposed to somebody you've known your whole fucking life telling you that it's not that way, who's been there and then in those shoes.
Right.
And I feel that. And it just goes all back to this, too, because, after digesting all that, and that's the dangers of the media, because we have to all understand that the media is a tool, but it's a tool that's always sharpening itself. It's never a finished product. So for us to ever judge the product based off what they give us at first and we don't let it marinate is very irresponsible of us who use that tool.
Right.
And it's why... everything RJ to what Gabe said is right, and that's why I even let it cool down, because, and it's a good comparison, like taking it back to the Dave Chappelle thing, and John wasn't like, he didn't go in on Dave or nothing, but like at first you had a media opinion about Dave because you heard what the media said, and even though you watched Dave and you love Dave, but like you kind of like went with the media for a bit before you watched it, digest yourself, and you're like, okay, now I got my own opinion, and that's the dangers of letting the media form your opinion. If we're all individuals, we have to understand that this is a tool that we use not to think that thinks for us. We think with
unrational.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because otherwise you'll
always
always have an irrational opinion about shit because you'll jump ahead of the steam. Like I said, anything and everything I said about Odell is because I'm digesting it, I'm reading it, I'm doing all my homework, and then Go ahead.
Okay, so about the whole Odell thing, and I get
you got some words for right? You said you feel some type of way, so
I get everything you're saying about this guy, right? But take it back to what I just said about the human part, right? The guy at the top of the mountain, right? Breaks his ankle. As an athlete, bro, the mental capacity you go to when you train your whole life to be in the best player in this moment, you break your ankle. Okay, you come back, you finally get healthy again, tear your ACL. You were once putting up 1,000 yards. It was easy with like we talked about earlier. Eli
mediocre.
He's a
mediocre Hall of Famer.
Eli goes mediocre Hall of Fame. Okay, whatever. But like, if the athlete's mind, when you get hurt like that, it takes you down. I don't care who you are.
That's a fact.
Like Hitch told me, he tore something in his knee. He had to get scope. He was out 4 weeks. Bro, he told me for them 4 weeks, like he was like sometimes he was just like like, damn, bro, I've been training all off season, putting all this time in, and now I can't even do what I'm supposed to be doing.
I believe it because we're human. When we break down, I can't hold that against the human because I can't say I'm Superman once I break my leg and then I expect to do the same thing. Like, I don't hold that against
Odell. And then,
Odell.
like, the whole thing with Odell is, like, so he got hurt twice. And I seen him, I met him at Christian Kirksey's house. So we was over at Christian Kirksey, we just chilling, hanging out. And I talked to him, bro, and how he is in person, he reminds me of Ash almost. He's so laid back, chilled. He don't really talk. He's cool. He'll make little jokes. He kind of like Njoku's kind of like the David. I mean the Jacob of the party.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh,
so like
wow.
they used to go at him, and it's like it was joking. Like it's a fun time.
Right.
Everybody sees him as this. He's arrogant. He's. Like,
I don't believe that about him.
I never thought he was
He
arrogant.
just paid me on Bitcoin. Like, man, what you mean? Like it's not what this is what the media puts out for him.
Right, and here's my thing. Like, all that is beautiful, and I don't hold that against him, and I don't even not believe none of that, because I do believe he's a good dude. But whenever I'm talking about Odell, I'm just talking about the player, never the human. And when I hear the media hold him up in such high regard, like he's pretty much untouchable or how do I say, like he can't make mistakes, and it's always somebody else's fault, it's like, no. That's not what my eyes are telling me, and that's what the numbers are telling me, not telling me either. So that's what I'm going based on. I'm never like holding anything in his personal life against him, what he does off field, none of that shit. I don't care about him being a superstar model, none of that. But like, you can't be held in such high regard to the point where it's like, because of all the off field shit, to where people don't want to criticize you on the field because they love you off the field. It's like, you got to be real with them. This is the shit that we see. This is what I'm experiencing. Is just like, and you hold them to that standard. That's all. Okay. Especially when you're making that much money.
Okay, but let me give you this one rebuttal to all that.
Okay.
Imagine your job, right? Your job you work right now. You had one bad day, and every time you had a bad day, somebody scrutinized you for it. Everything you do is the limelight of everything. He don't ask to be this guy.
I know that.
Made him this guy.
I know that.
At the end of the day, it's like when he has these bad games or whatever. Maybe sometimes it's a part because your mental do control your physical play. Like
That's a fact.
if you go into sometimes you play well when you're mad. You play terrible. So like I'm just being real.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So like, how do you know his mental isn't sometimes like holding back his play?
I believe that. I've seen it on the field. I believe like some of the off of the field noises affected him. But then again, I go back to I love Kobe Bryant. He's fueled by that shit. So it's like, and I'm only judging the on the court Kobe when I think about that shit too. And if he can use that to fuel him, and Kobe's been through hella injuries and he's dropping shit, you know what I mean? And it don't really come up on paper, but the eye test will tell you Kobe played his ass off. And sometimes I feel like Odell, like for instance, like there was this one catch where I felt like it was so catchable, and he just did some other shit. And like you said, maybe his mental wasn't right that day, and I feel like he does have something to prove, because I feel like he is that dude off field to where he wants the play to match the love, you know what I mean?
People are discounting him as like damaged goods. Like he's no good to him.
Right, and to me, he kind of is as far as a player, but I feel like everything, he's such a conundrum, but I'm just judging the player. Whenever I talk about him, I'm never talking about the
I got
player.
you. So like say what you just said right there. So I listened to this thing, The Shot with Brown. You know The Shot.
I love it. I watch it too.
Brown was talking to AB. And AB was talking about the one player been through the ball to the D and then touchdown. He said everybody come up to me and ask me what happened. He said, bro, I can't throw the ball on myself.
And that's a fact.
And LeBron said, what I could do is I can get a steal, go get a bucket.
I seen that episode.
Get a stop, go get a bucket. And then if they do score, I can go pass the ball to somebody who's going to give me the ball right back and go score. It's a dependent, you're not playing a dependent sport.
Oh, I know.
And I mean, if we want to talk about Baker, we can get into
and that's what I was going to say. Like,
I would love to.
In like how Odell feels, how you said you're getting scrutinized. You can do one wrong thing, you know what I'm saying, and off the field you're getting scrutinized, or the opposite way. You feel like your fan base is telling you you're doing everything right, and it's somebody else, and that's where it comes in, and that's what led with the problems right there. Baker's fan base was opposite of Odell's, and in a sense they cross paths in an argument,
blaming each other. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They're opposite, but they cross paths in the point where it's the Spider-Man meme. I'm pointing at you, you're pointing at me.
Right.
The media is making us both do it.
But
you know
I'm
what I'm
not
saying?
doing
Because
that.
it's
I'm
boom,
not-
just like this.
I'm not picking a side though. I'm being objective. Just like I said, Baker should have been out. He shouldn't be playing right now.
No, I
So,
agree. He has been advocating that. I agree with you.
You know what I
on
mean?
that one.
I've been trying to be objective as possible. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to give Odell, now that he's with a new team, at least another 2 years to revive himself, because I don't think it's fair to throw somebody into a new system and expect to know it like within a few weeks. That's not fair to him.
My whole thing with
But
this
like
is
with the whole Cleveland thing, I just feel like, and you probably seen this, his heart wasn't here. The man lived in Cincinnati. He had to drive a ways away to work. You know what I mean? He did not want to be in Cleveland. He did not want to be in Ohio. And I get it. To go from New York to Ohio, for a guy like that, high status, I get it. He does look at home in L.A. He does look like he really wants to bring it. I seen he was 5 of 8 that one game. Did great. Got a touchdown. So I want to see if he can really revamp himself in a new situation where it's big city, big lights, and I'm going to give him that leeway. But here, I was just criticizing him because it's like, if you didn't want to be here, you should have forced your way out sooner, or somebody in the front office, and this is where I don't blame him, should have seen his heart wasn't here, and you should have got a great deal for him, sent him somewhere to be happy, and got a good return before he got hurt those 2 times while being here.
Okay, but what you said about forcing himself out, now imagine if he came
His
out-
dad kind of did that for him.
I'm
not saying that was him.
but imagine if he did that. Like, imagine he's already labeled this terrible guy.
He ain't terrible to me.
No,
I
not
hope
to
he-
you, not to you.
The
though,
media portrays him as this terrible character.
Fuck the media. Y'all know how I feel.
I know, but everybody says, "Oh,
would've been crucified.
Odell's not a team player."
He would have been
Bro,
crucified.
he wants
by the
out,
media.
Bro, are you supposed to be happy when you have a bad game? Like,
But am I supposed to be happy in a losing situation where I ain't happy? You guys want me to be the one-hand man in New York, right? Well, get me the fuck out of here, and I can give you this good-ass product again before I keep breaking down. That's how I'm looking at it from his. That's why I say I'm objective about it, and I put myself in his shoes. You know what I mean? Like, he should have asked out of here. You shouldn't have to drive damn near 3-4 hours to work to a place you really don't want to be with a guy who was up and coming in Baker and shit like that. You should have went somewhere with an established quarterback and been happy.
Maybe he just likes to drive, though.
I feel like no, he tried to revive. I think, and this is like the thing, he tried to revive himself in a place where his heart wasn't at. And if you don't have a heartbeat in a place where you want to revive yourself, it ain't gonna work.
it's not. But I mean, like, I understand. We definitely have this. You open my different side of it. I'm always looking at the player side because everybody's always like, when a player makes a move that's best for him, everybody crucifies him.
I'm all about player empowerment.
But when but when the team cuts you the day before a game,
Exactly.
and you got to go move your whole family
And uproot.
somewhere else the next week and have a house that
Everything set up.
I seen
and then study a playbook and all this shit.
I seen that because we went to the Super Bowl when the Chiefs played the 49ers, and my sister, I seen how the stress it brought her trying to get these tickets and all this stuff organized. And I'm like, I can't even imagine having to get up. You've been playing here 7 years, getting up one day, or you've been traded here. Like, what, bro? That mental part is you're
It's
comfortable
serious.
here. Like, it's different.
And that information, how do you receive it? Like directly, or is it like through the social media? Like, hey, Anthony Hitchens has been
Depends
traded.
who it
No,
is.
well,
and I feel like that affects him too mentally.
I've woken up and seen Twitter like
Nah,
traded.
He was
So on
signed.
ESPN,
Yeah,
if
but
you
when
ain't
he
look at
signed
your
with
phone.
KC,
Yeah, he signed with
when
KC.
Okay.
Hitch signed with KC. I'm talking about like a guy like Lonzo Ball, for example.
That's what I'm
was in
saying. Yeah,
LA.
okay, yeah.
He said he found out through Twitter.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Like
can you
DeMar
can
DeRozan.
you imagine that going on Twitter, like just
Scrolling. Next thing you find out you're fired from your job.
Oh, bro, you've been traded here, and then you get a call from your agent. Oh yeah, you got traded, bro. What?
I found this
Yeah,
out.
DeMar
I found this
DeRozan
out
with
20
Toronto.
minutes ago.
And that's why
They
I
said they
said
wanted to keep DeMar DeRozan, and then literally the next day he was gone.
Right.
They traded him, didn't say nothing.
And then that's what I'm talking about. The whole thing, like the difference between how the media thinks it. Kevin Hart, for example, bro. Dave Chappelle was talking about him, and Jamie Foxx talking about him on the thing too. They said this dude is the most. He wants everybody
Perfect.
to love him. He's the nicest guy ever. And somehow, instead of the Oscars saying, "Oh, this guy used to tell jokes like that. He's changed everything," but the joke was about a family member, so it's like a family joke. You wouldn't, if you don't get it, then I don't understand. But they took that, hijacked it, and then he's not hosting the Oscars because of what he said 10 years ago.
and it was about his own son.
Yeah,
and how
it's
he
on
his
felt.
own son.
Like it's about your son. You hear DC Young Fly talk about his baby being bald and everything. He got a girl. Like I just don't understand this.
And it was
world
all
that we
about
live
what
in
he
is.
preferenced for his son's sexual orientation. It was just a joke within that moment. He's allowed, and that's his son. He's allowed to joke about that. I think it would have been different had he joked about somebody else's son and their sexual preference. And I completely agree with
Like
you.
the Dave Chappelle thing we was talking about. Like he was joking about one of his good friends. Like that's a joke between them. and he tells the world, and somehow now he's getting labeled something.
And not only that, he's still influencing that person's life through their daughter and making sure that they're set up for life. So where's the crime at? Please tell me.
That's what I always like. People don't understand. Like I listen to Cam. Everybody's like, Cam is a me guy. Cam was on a podcast with I think it was All the Smoke, and he was talking. He was like, and Steven Jackson said, yeah, he donated like $4 million to this foundation. Didn't have no clue what it was, but I asked him to do it. He did it like that. But people don't see that side. They only see what the media puts out.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm starting to get to the point where I had all my social media, I had everything turned off for a while, and it was, dude, my phone. I was like, my phone don't ring. I love it.
No, because just to go on that though, me and Clifton are two individuals that we binge from like being on social media because we know the effects it has on the mental state of a person.
I literally logged on my birthday and logged right back off.
Yeah, because you know, like as soon as you get on this like platform, it's going to pull you one way or another, and you have to confine to however it's going. But you don't have to do that. Like once you have more self control and know what your situation is, you can dictate how your life is going to flow.
Mm-hmm. And to bring it back to Odell and the media and everything, like I said, I've never judged a human. And going based off what I said, I mean, proof is in the pudding. I've just judged him for being on the field, and I just wish, because I believe in player empowerment, he would have just used his power to get somewhere sooner and not wasted his 4 good years here. Because what if he would have been somewhere more happy and never got hurt? You know what I mean?
I mean, but yeah, football is one of those sports that you can literally just walk and tear something. Like,
that is a fact.
I was about to say, I literally watched. They said Deshaun Watson, when he tore his ACL, he legit running. He was just running a 48 keeper in practice, no contact, nothing.
A few years ago, I read that somebody was walking up or down the steps and tore their ACL at home.
John Wall.
Yeah, he was. He was literally walking down the steps at home and tore his ACL.
Hey, listen, this dude is getting paid $45 million
to do nothing.
He has not played a game yet this year.
He's making $92 million.
You know,
the next 2 years.
See, they were just talking.
I seen that.
They were just talking because he was saying that he wanted to come back and play this year.
They're like, no,
and they're like, okay, you can, but you're gonna get this year's secondary role. You're not about to come back
and mess up the chemistry.
No, it's not happening like that. And he don't agree with it, but it's like
he's a conundrum in the NBA.
Not gonna let me.
Hey, you heard something funny? Hey, Jacob, I got something to talk to you about.
Hit me with RJ.
Hey, bro, you threw the Hennessy away.
Okay, before we get to that story, real quick,
I'm still mad about.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode. Make sure you guys go like us on Spotify, Apple, Podbean, and wherever you get your podcast from. And make sure you guys tune in to our episode. All right, let's get back to the episode.
Yeah, get ready to paint that target.
Look, I was drunk. I was already drunk. This dude gonna have me half the bottle in a cup.
We celebrating me,
I know.
First of all.
Wasn't it my fault? Well, yeah, his birthday was more so mine.
He was like secondary.
Bachelor party.
They went out there for him. Their birthdays happened to be on the same weekend. That ain't his fault.
It's not his fault.
No, you know what I'm saying?
Regardless, I was just saying, like, regardless, he should have
when he gave me the
100%, because it's his fucking birthday, exactly. So whatever he's about to say, excuse-wise, is no. Just don't even listen to it, honestly.
So look,
let him speak.
Let it be on the record, though.
First thing, I did not know it was the rest of the bottle. He did not tell me that, so I did not know this.
You probably wouldn't remember.
Now, if he would have told me this, I would at least made a better attempt to drink more. I would have. Real shit.
Not finished, just drink more.
No, I would have at least drank half the cup.
Hold on, Jacob, one quick question. Who gave you the bottle again? Who gave you that cup?
No, he gave me the cup.
Okay,
he just gave me a
time
cup.
For me, stop you right there. It is Ash celebration, right?
Celebrate my birthday. He's about to get married.
He's
all that.
giving you a cup for his celebration. You shouldn't even have thought twice. It should have been gone as soon as you got the cup.
Okay, well look, I don't think like that because I don't always drink like that.
It's not what you were thinking though. I'm telling you,
you're thinking with your liver right now, not with your brain.
It is fuck your liver right now.
It is his celebration.
Bing bong.
And you guys are in Miami for one.
True. I'm not like I said.
Miami Beach, Ocean Drive.
You have no.
You should have blacked out.
Yes, I know. I
swear to God.
Hey,
100%.
I did not secure the bag that night. Okay, I fucked it up.
We noticed. We noticed.
You threw all the bags away. I see.
He literally threw the bag away.
Yeah, but when he first gave me the cup, I did not know it was the rest of the bottle. If I would have known that, I wouldn't have made an attempt to at least drink half of it, if not the whole thing. But I fucked up. It happens. Thanks, RJ, for bringing it up, because now I'm going to get called Henny Waster again, and yeah. So thank you.
HW, Scarlet Letters, painted back on you.
Hey, can you hit pause real quick?
Wait, what we going to do? Beat his ass off, Mike?
Hey, yo, happy holiday. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of It's On Us. Make sure you guys go like and subscribe to all of our pages. Follow us on Spotify, Apple, Podbean, or wherever you get your podcasts. And again, hey, yo, bing bong.